August 6, 1945. Dawn broke over Hiroshima, painting the sky with hues of orange and pink. The city was stirring, unaware of the horrors that awaited. People went about their daily routines, children heading to school, shopkeepers opening their stores, and workers making their way to their jobs. Among its citizens was Tsutomu Yamaguchi, a young engineer on a business trip. He was a diligent worker, dedicated to his job and respected by his peers. He was filled with the everyday anxieties of a man away from his family, eager to return home to Nagasaki. His thoughts often wandered to his wife and young son, wondering how they were faring in his absence. Little did he know, his name would forever be etched in history. The events of that day would not only change his life, but also alter the course of human history. He would become a stark reminder of the devastating power of the atomic bomb, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Despite the unimaginable horrors he witnessed, Yamaguchi's story is one of survival and strength. Yamaguchi was just an ordinary man caught in extraordinary circumstances. He had no special training or preparation for what was to come, yet he faced it with remarkable courage. He had a wife and a young son, a home he cherished, dreams for the future. His family was his anchor, the reason he persevered through the darkest of times. He was on a 3-month work assignment in Hiroshima, a city he found bustling and full of life. The streets were always filled with people, the markets vibrant with activity, and the air buzzing with the sounds of daily life. Now, as he walked to work that fateful morning, he carried with him the weight of a father's worry and the longing for home. He thought about the day ahead, the meetings he had to attend, and the tasks he needed to complete. He had no idea that he was about to face an ordeal that would change his life forever. The sky would soon be filled with a blinding flash, and the world as he knew it would be turned upside down, and that he would live to tell the tale. His story would become a powerful reminder of the horrors of war and the resilience of the human spirit, inspiring generations to come. The sky was clear, a serene blue canvas stretching endlessly above the city. The sun was already warm on his skin as Yamaguchi walked through the bustling streets of Hiroshima. He was engrossed in thoughts of his family, his mind wandering to the faces of his loved ones back in Nagasaki. He was due to return home to Nagasaki in just 2 days, a reunion he eagerly anticipated. A wave of homesickness washed over him, making his heart ache with longing. He quickened his pace, eager to finish his work and head back to his loved ones, the thought of their embrace spurring him on. At 8:15 a.m., a blinding flash of light filled the sky. The world turned white in an instant, as if the sun itself had descended upon the city. Yamaguchi was just less than 2 miles from the hypocenter, the epicenter of the explosion. The blast wave slammed into him with the force of 1,000 storms, tossing him through the air like a rag doll. He blacked out instantly, his mind unable to process the sudden devastation. When he regained consciousness, he found himself lying in a field, his body racked with pain and his senses overwhelmed by the chaos around him. The world around him was a scene of unimaginable destruction. Buildings that once stood tall were now reduced to rubble. Fires raged unchecked, consuming everything in their path with a ferocious hunger. The air was thick with dust and the acrid smell of burning flesh, a scent that would haunt him for the rest of his life. The once vibrant city of Hiroshima had been transformed into a hellish landscape, a testament to the destructive power of the atomic bomb. Yamaguchi stumbled to his feet, disoriented and in shock. He was burned, his eardrums ruptured, his skin peeling. The once familiar streets of Hiroshima had transformed into a nightmarish landscape. Everywhere he looked, there were injured and dying people, their cries piercing the air. He saw a woman clutching a charred doll, her face a mask of grief. A man wandered aimlessly, his clothes burned off, his skin hanging in strips. Driven by instinct, Yamaguchi made his way towards the river, hoping to escape the inferno. He found solace in the cool water, a moment of reprieve from the chaos and suffering around him. As he regained his bearings, his thoughts turned to his family. Were they safe in Nagasaki? The thought of them fueled his will to survive. He knew he had to get home, he had to tell them he was alive. The following day, Yamaguchi, bandaged and in pain, boarded a train. His body ached with every movement, each step a reminder of the horrors he had witnessed. It was packed with injured survivors, all desperate to reach their loved ones. The train was a moving testament to the resilience of the human spirit, filled with people who had faced unimaginable terror and survived. The journey back to Nagasaki was a blur of pain and exhaustion. Every jolt of the train sent waves of agony through Yamaguchi's body, but he clung to the hope of reuniting with his family. The air in the train was heavy with the stench of burns and antiseptic. The moans of the injured and the sobs of those who had lost everything filled the cramped space, creating an atmosphere of shared suffering. Yamaguchi couldn't shake the image of the burning city from his mind. The flames, the destruction, the cries for help, it was all seared into his memory, a nightmare that replayed over and over. The cries of the wounded echoed in his ears. Each cry was a reminder of the fragility of life and the immense suffering that war brings. When he finally reached Nagasaki, he could barely recognize his own city. The familiar streets were now unrecognizable, transformed by the devastation of the bombing. The bombing had left its mark, but it was nothing compared to the devastation he had witnessed in Hiroshima. The scale of destruction in Hiroshima was beyond comprehension, a stark reminder of the destructive power of war. He made his way home, his heart pounding with every step. Each step was a struggle, but the thought of seeing his family again gave him the strength to keep going. As he reached his doorstep, he felt a surge of relief. The sight of his home, still standing amidst the ruins, filled him with a sense of hope. His wife and son were alive. The joy of seeing their faces, of holding them in his arms, was overwhelming. It was a moment of pure, unadulterated happiness. He had survived the inferno only to find himself embraced by the warmth of his family. The love and support of his family gave him the strength to face the challenges ahead. It was a brief moment of solace in a world turned upside down. In that moment, surrounded by his loved ones, Yamaguchi found a glimmer of hope amidst the darkness. Section 5. A familiar horror. Despite his injuries, Yamaguchi dragged himself to work the next morning. He was determined to regain some sense of normalcy. As he recounted his harrowing experience in Hiroshima to his disbelieving colleagues, the unimaginable happened. At 11:02 a.m. on August 9, 1945, the sky above Nagasaki erupted in the same blinding flash. The familiar wave of heat and pressure slammed into him. He was thrown to the ground once more. As he lay there, his body battered and broken, he couldn't believe that fate had dealt him such a cruel hand. He had survived one atomic bomb, only to be caught in the blast of another. Section 6. Marked by fate. Emerging from the rubble for the second time in 3 days, Yamaguchi felt a profound sense of disbelief. The world around him was once again a scene of devastation, a chilling echo of Hiroshima. He was alive, but he knew that he was forever changed. The bombs had left their mark on him, both physically and emotionally. In the aftermath of the Nagasaki bombing, Yamaguchi's burns worsened. He suffered from radiation sickness, his hair falling out, his body racked with pain, yet he clung to life, his spirit unbroken. He had survived the unsurvivable. Twice. He bore the physical and emotional scars of the bombings, a living testament to the horrors he had witnessed. Section 7. A life rebuilt. Yamaguchi eventually recovered from his injuries, but the trauma of his experiences lingered. He went on to live a full life, raising his family and working as a teacher, but the memory of those 2 fateful days never left him. He became a vocal advocate for peace, sharing his story with the world and urging for an end to nuclear weapons. His story is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, the ability to find hope and meaning even in the face of unimaginable tragedy. He used his experience not to succumb to bitterness, but to advocate for peace and understanding. He became a symbol of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest of times the human spirit can endure. Section 8. A voice for peace. Yamaguchi dedicated his life to speaking out against nuclear proliferation. He traveled the world, sharing his story and urging for a world free of nuclear weapons. He believed that his survival was a sign, a responsibility to bear witness to the horrors of atomic warfare. He became a beacon of hope for other survivors, a living testament to the possibility of rebuilding a life even after experiencing such trauma. His message resonated across cultures and continents, his voice a powerful reminder of the human cost of war. Section 9. An enduring legacy. Tsutomu Yamaguchi, the man who stared death in the face twice, passed away in 2010 at the age of 93. His story, however, continues to inspire and serve as a stark warning. He left behind a legacy of peace and a powerful reminder of the devastating impact of nuclear weapons. His experience, once unimaginable, is a stark reminder of the fragility of peace and the enduring strength of the human spirit. He reminds us that we must never forget the horrors of the past and must strive for a future free from the threat of nuclear war. His story is not just a tale of survival but a call to action for all of humanity.